Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I yield 2 minutes to my good friend, distinguished gentleman from Florida, Mr. Spano.
The gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in opposition to the Immigration Supplemental that would be brought to the floor later tonight. While I appreciate that the majority in this House has finally come to the realization that there is, in fact, a crisis on our southern border after spending the first 6 months denying that fact, they continue to refuse to work with Republicans to address the real problem. The bill before us today was drafted with no Republican input. For the past 2 days, its fate has seemed uncertain, as there are members of the Democrat conference that don't believe we should have a border or enforce our laws. We're a nation of laws. Americans who selflessly choose to join the law enforcement profession put their lives on the line every day to protect Americans and care for those in their custody. They're working overtime to deal with this crisis. What support do they get in this supplemental? It doesn't fund the pay or overtime shortage. Instead, members of the majority party have spent the past week calling ICE and CBP criminal agencies that are killing children. I want everybody to think about that for just a moment. There are members of the Democrat conference who are telling Americans that ICE and CBP are killing children in their custody. The Democrat leadership has been engaged in negotiations the past 2 days to win the support of these members. One of the solutions contained in the manager's amendment is an extra $2 million for the continued operation of the Immigration Court Help Desk program. The average wait time to have a case heard in the Immigration Court is over 700 days. Does the bill include the $55 million that the Senate bill does for additional immigration judges? No. Rather, it includes $2 million for a 1-800 number to check on the status of a case. The wait is over 700 days.
Yield the gentleman an additional 15 seconds.
The wait is 700 days. That's like putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound. I look forward to addressing this crisis, but this bill is not the solution. If they were serious about solving the problem, Democrats would include additional funding to take care of our law enforcement who are working so hard to address the crisis. And they would include additional funding to reduce the court backlog. It's time to get serious about the crisis. It's time to offer real solutions. I yield back.